I don't want this situation to have this amount of attention, so I can take this group and I can put them here. And now I've got room to do this. And while everybody is busy fighting over this bullshit, we can do this shit over here.
Okay.
Which ultimately is going to lead to me being able to take most of these people and make them do this. And that's always been the game.
I get it. So you know it's a game. You know we're getting played.
Yes, we all ought to at this point.
Right. So then why do you think completely differently than I do if we're both on the same team? We both know we're getting played. Why?
I don't. So the thing is, we have to try this. That's the purpose of these dialogues. Is because that. Do you remember? Do you know who Fred Hampton is? The story of Fred Hampton. So, he was a Black Panther who got executed in Chicago by the FBI because he was actually very successful at being able to go into neighborhoods where poor white people were living and be like, the fight that all this racist shit that you're fighting with us about, it's the same fight. Like, your fight is my fight. You're poor trying to fight for the same shit that I'm poor trying to fight for. Right. Our fight isn't with each other. Our fight is with the people that have all the fucking money that have been trying to run this bitch that are fucking you and me. Yep. And we all know that this is the fucking game. Yeah. He was very good about being able to walk into fucking areas and getting everybody to understand that shit and then work together to be able to start accomplishing social changes places. And because he was so successful at that shit, they shot that motherfucker in his sleep.
Okay, so now...
that same battle that got him killed is the same fight that we're fighting right now. It's just a different time. And so
but who are the teams though? Because it's no longer blacks and white. Now it's Democrats and Republicans.
It's
because always, it has nothing to do with God.
It's always been those who have the money versus those who make the money for those who have it.
Okay, but
so it's never really been. The idea is to make you believe.
Rich people.
The idea is you're supposed to believe that you have a choice between one of the two. You're picking a Republican or a Democrat, and legitimately, these people are supposed to be working on your behalf. The problem is we created career politicians. So when you have career politicians and you give these people power, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So now you have a whole bunch of people who have made deals with wealthy people in order for them to be able to continue to manipulate laws to continue to line their pockets.
Yeah, this has been going on for decades.
This has been going on for decades. Yeah. Now this is the same fight. That fight is the fight that you and me are legitimately having to deal with. These people have been always using the working class essentially to continue to line their pockets. Which is why you have the 1% that owns 95% of the fucking country's wealth while everybody else is fighting amongst each other over fucking protests.
What I'm trying to but we empower them.
Yes.
So
now we need to take their power.
But all you have to do is form community again.
Yes. And
but you don't need the government to do that.
You can.
No. See, You're trying. Okay, so wait a second. So here's what ends up happening.
You end up having to rewrite government. Is what you need to.
No, you don't. You need to get rid of a lot of fucking regulations, and then you need to. We need to go back to. See, globalization's what's fucked us. Globalization has fucked us completely.
Listen, now that's a whole different different.
Right. That'll be a whole other thing. But what I'm saying is, when you look at it, I know friends who live in small towns. And they're like, well, we used to have, this family used to own this store, this family used to own this store, this family used to own this store. You know, we had a nice little main street, it was really nice. Then Walmart came in.
Then Walmart moved in.
Right. And everybody got shut down and we got wiped out.
Who sold the land?
Huh? No, it's not a matter of selling the land. The land is there. The main street's vacant because nobody shops
Walmart.
there. Huh?
To Walmart.
Oh, I have no idea. I get it.
Somebody in the community had to own it, right?
I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. You can't.
Who's the villain?
The villain is
the dude who sold the land to Walmart, dude.
Well, you could have a couple villains.
Yeah, because
and Walmart at the same time.
I was going to say, because Walmart knows what it's doing. It's coming in and going, hey, we want to buy your land for 17 times its property value to put on there.
If dude's going to say yes because it's ridiculous amount of money, but he could very easily be righteous and say no.
And then here's the mindset. Now, that'd be great, but here's the mindset of America. Here's the mindset. This is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. That's a lot of money, but this is wrong.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, you know, and if I don't do it, he's just going to pay somebody else to do it. So at this point, why should I be poor, even though the evil is going to continue? So I'm just going to do it because it's just my right.
So how do you teach righteousness?
Family, community. If you have a community,
this goes back to what if your family's a piece of shit.
Well, then
let's just keep going down this
I'm just
path
kidding.
for a
Go
minute.
ahead. No, go ahead, dude.
But it's the whole thing. If you look at, see, like you're afraid to walk out of your house in this neighborhood, I guess.
No, me? No, I'm not afraid to go out of my neighborhood. I'm just saying, on a grand scheme in like this country, it is. I don't feel safe here. I feel like I'd be safer in Atlanta than I feel here in Minnesota.
Really?
Yes.
Isn't there a larger black population in Atlanta?
Yes.
Well, but isn't there more? But then we
Is
go
there
back
more
to
black on black crime? Is that what you're wondering? It's not Southside Chicago, if that's what you're wondering. I didn't say
I was just asking. Just throwing some numbers out there. You just knew exactly where I was going. But
Atlanta's quietly referred to as the capital of Black America.
Yeah.
Just for
yeah, I've been through there. I lived in Florida. I've
No,
so,
I mean but in a great way. It's
No.
considered the capital of Black America.
No, and I'm actually, isn't Tyler Perry, isn't he creating his own?
His studio is there.
Yeah.
It's already built. It's
That's
done.
brilliant. See,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Hollywood's got to be mad about that. But anyway, so.
Shit you can do about him.
Yeah, right? I'm just saying, you've got to go, if you've got, like, there has to be some kind of basic good or something. Because if you see somebody that needs help and you know they need help and you can help them, are you going to help them? Or are you going to be like, motherfucker's a white guy, he probably owns slaves somewhere in his family, fuck him. Or are you going to be like, hey, you need some help, I'm going to come over and help you.
Yes.
Most
Yes, you should.
people,
Most people.
most people now don't even think about the whole slave thing.
Okay, so, all right, so.
As far as
Most people should
pointing at an individual and being like, I bet your family used to own slaves. As far as
When
that
you-
level,
when
I'm
you-
not saying we don't think about slavery. We are constantly thinking about slavery.
So,
God, no, dude,
So
seriously,
here's
I'm
my
not
question.
gonna lie. As a black person in America,
so why do you constantly think about it?
Why do I constantly think about it?
Yes.
Because I've looked at this country's history and have watched this country essentially try and make amends for all of the things that it's done wrong to every other country or every other group that it's ever fucking done wrong to, except for Black America. And that's why I look at slavery. I'm constantly thinking about
So I've
slavery.
got to ask, and this is usually a trigger
You don't
statement.
think
Is
that's
it,
true?
no. I just think I don't think you're constantly thinking about slavery.
Not
I
like
think
on that
You're
level,
constantly thinking.
but
of,
I'm constantly reminded of the fact that Black America has not been compensated for its sacrifice to this country.
Okay, so. Wow. Okay, so you need compensation.
I'm saying Black America
Yep, needs.
needs to be essentially not like direct paid, but legitimately compensated for in one way or another what it has been through on behalf of and for this country.
So
This country's entire economic foundation does not exist without slavery. There is no American economy without slavery.
okay, all right.
That's
Sweet.
a fact.
All right, and without child labor, and without there's all kinds of stuff. Slaves,
No.
white or black, because Irish were slaves. The Irish weren't slaves, were they not?
This is not the same thing. Not even close.
It's not.
No.
So
The
there's different levels of slavery.
I'll step out of this argument.
The
Let him
economic institution of chattel slavery allowed the United States to become what it is. It would not have been possible for the United States to industrialize or form the amount of wealth that the United States as an entity had, much less the very specific people inside of the United States. A very specific group of people in the United States. It was impossible.
Okay, so
it was impossible.
So explain this to me then.
I mean,
so what you're saying is that
the only way it was possible is if instead of going to Africa to get people to do this, you went to South America to get people to do this. Or you went to China to get people to do this. Or you went to... It was impossible for the United States to become the country that it is without chattel slavery.
I'm going to disagree with your statement on this. It would have been impossible to do it in the time frame they did.
No, it would have been impossible.
I disagree with that. No,
It's already documented and historically
that
fact.
wealth
If
wouldn't-
we are looking,
so historical facts are an amazing thing.
You and I both already agreed we're going to deal with facts, right?
Right.
So this isn't even a debatable thing. This is
Okay,
actually fact.
so explain to me the fact. What is the fact?
The fact is the American economy could not have been founded and become what it became without slavery, African slavery.
Okay, so what is the fact? I mean, where is that backing that statement? You're saying that statement's a fact. That's just a statement. That's not. You can say it's a fact, but what information?
It's a documented fact.
Documented where?
Okay, there were not enough people there were not enough white people in the United States to do. I mean, very simply, the institution of cotton in the South. It is that simple, is where it starts. There were not enough people, not enough human beings in the United States
to do what?
To harvest the amount of cotton that was being produced.
Okay, I understand that.
That
I
amount
understand
of
that.
cotton,
okay,
spread throughout the world,
okay.
created the United States
American
wealth.
economy.
And that wealth continued to industrialize other things and continued to lead to innovation and continued to lead to, it's...
Okay, so cotton, and that cotton could not have been picked by other people.
It was not picked.
No,
Okay.
it couldn't have been.
So it couldn't have been
There
picked.
were not enough human beings.
God,
I'm dead serious.
I understand that. So what you're saying is, what I'm saying is, it could have became the country that it did, it just would have done it slower. You're saying that there's no way we could have got to this because there wasn't enough people. Okay,
Well,
we couldn't have got to this in 40 years or whatever, 100 years, go ahead. It may have been, it took 100 years with the people we had. It could have taken 150 years if we didn't. You can't make it a fact and say that because of that. You couldn't do it in that time frame. That could be a fact because there wasn't enough people. But to say that this economy could not have gotten to where it is without them is not a true statement. It would have taken longer.
It didn't. We're dealing with... You're saying if we had done this, then we could have done this. But that's not what happened. What happened was
the way you
they
phrased the
went
statement.
and got these people. This is a fact. This is what happened, right? They went, got slaves, had them come here, and did all of the cotton shit. That's
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing
so
that.
So if that's what happened,
But the statement.
then that's that is exactly how the economy was built.
Then you've got to word the statement different. You've got to word the statement different. Because you can't say that there's no way they would have reached this type of economy ever.
Okay, they didn't.
Actually, you still can.
How?
So it is to me, well, this is my take on it, my belief on it. Economically, what you're also talking about in that situation is that worldwide you have such exponential growth, right? So you could easily make the argument that if the United States was not in the position that it was at the time of this rapid accelerated growth through the Industrial Revolution and whatnot, you still wouldn't have gotten here.
Okay, so
It's
you can say that.
I think
can.
it's true.
But
I definitely think
you
it's
can
true.
say it's true, but it's not a fact.
Okay, so then how else did America become wealthy without slaves? Did that happen? Did America get its wealth without
No, because
slavery?
you can only have
So,
one,
okay,
you can only
so-
have one history.
So exactly.
You're
So if
saying
this
the
is what
fact
happened-
is
if this is what
that
happened,
there's no way we could have reached this economic growth without slaves ever. That's what you said. You didn't say it in a quick time. You didn't say any of that.
Did it happen?
Yes, because it's history.
Then that's what we're dealing with, right?
Also,
we're not dealing with hypotheticals. We're dealing with
But
actual
you are.
history. No,
Well,
America's
but also-
America's
His
Economic-
fact is hypothetical.
Economic situations are not. They're not broken down into small things. They are a sum of their totality. So, or they are their totality.
I'm just gonna say,
I mean, it's like
if the
saying-
statement says we could never reach this economy without slaves, that's not a true statement. Is it how we got here? Yes, that is a true statement. But to say that we could never possibly reach this economy without the support of slaves is not a true statement.
Okay, so the way America got its wealth was off of the back of slavery.
Okay.
Is that a fact?
Okay.
Do we agree with this?
Actually, here, let's do this. This will be more fun. This will be way more fun.